Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. Can make me move. You can make me
Hello, welcome. How are you doing today? And what the fuck happened? Alright, this has to be visible. Got it. You, what the fuck? What's going on there? That's never read it. I was like, there we go. Alright, there we go. I have this replay, so you don't need that. Anywho. Aww. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? You are. You are. What happened to my good girl bit? What the fuck's happened to my... Oh, hold on. Where's sound alerts at? Sound alerts. What the heck is going on with my sound alerts? Hold on. I swear to God, I have to have the sound alert tab open in order for it to actually work. I don't know why, but yeah. Guess what? The sound alert didn't even play, so the sound alert didn't even play. What the fuck is actually going on with the sound alerts here? Sounds usually... Hold on. What the fuck is going on? So on your OBS. Sonar is good. Looks like it's playing there. But what the fuck is going on? Hold on. Okay, right, stop spamming. Hold on.
Who's a good girl?
There you go. Now it's playing. Finally. Alright, whew. It wouldn't be a true
Who's
stream.
a good girl?
I am meow. Also, there's an ad break coming up in 2 minutes. So yeah, it wouldn't be a true stream without a little bit of scuff. Plus, pretty much, I can't wait for my third monitor to be delivered, so I can have like just the third monitor being dedicated to OBS, and that's about it. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Meow. But yeah, this is the second stream I'm doing today, pretty much. Also, ad is playing. Ad is playing. Also, I almost forgot. Oh no, I never turned it off. Oh. I guess it worked out. Oh. There we go. Ooh. Ads, the Twitch ads are ending in about 30 seconds. 𝙂𝙬𝙧𝙬𝙀. Oh. Alright, chat's back. Welcome, welcome. Welcome back, 𝙂𝙚𝙣𝙚. How are you? Also, for everyone new here, there's our Discord. You can feel free to join there. That's all the 𝙂𝙚𝙣𝙚s hang out at. Yeah, because of Discord's verification, I made 2 backup servers. So just in case Discord goes off the rails, to the point that we generally can't use Discord anymore, I have 2 backup servers just in case. Alright, thank you. Anywho, we're gonna start this off with our commission art. It's been like what, since the last time I did this 1 month ago, or like for art streams. You know what, like, fuck it. You know what? Thank you. As I was saying, you know, for next week, from next week onward. Yeah, finally work. Yeah, I know. As I was saying, like for next week onward, I can have Thursday as a dedicated art stream, stream day, and then Sunday as a dedicated gaming stream. It just makes things easier on me. Yeah. Oh, yippers. Alright, we're gonna get started with this. Alright. Alright, there we go. Alright, ready, chat? Ready? Let's go.
If you thought Windows 11 murdering your hard drive was bad, that's just the tip of the iceberg of problems with the latest update.
September 2025. The International Freelancers Association publishes a report that exposes a crisis Microsoft never acknowledged. Windows 11's forced updates, system instabilities, and compatibility problems are directly destroying freelancers' livelihoods worldwide. The report documents 47,000 freelancers across 89 countries who lost income, missed deadlines, or lost clients entirely due to Windows 11 failures. These aren't minor inconveniences. These are people whose income stopped because Windows updated mid-project and broke critical software. Graphic designers who couldn't deliver work because Photoshop crashed after Windows update. Video editors who missed deadlines because rendering failed after forced restarts. Developers who lost client trust when Windows updates deleted uncommitted code. Freelance writers whose documents corrupted
First.
reboots. The report estimates Windows 11 problems cost the global freelance community $2.3 billion in lost income during 2024 alone. Individual stories are devastating. A Ukrainian graphic designer lost her 3 biggest clients after Windows Update crashed repeatedly for 2 weeks. She couldn't deliver work. Clients fired her. She lost 80% of her income instantly. A Brazilian software developer had Windows force restart during client video call. Unprofessional. Embarrassing. Client terminated contract. A Filipino video editor lost 40 hours of work when Windows Update corrupted project files. Couldn't recover them. Had to redo everything. Missed deadline, didn't get paid. These aren't hypothetical scenarios. These are real people whose businesses Microsoft destroyed through negligent software practices. Bill Gates,
Yeah.
who championed technology empowering individuals, is reportedly horrified that Windows has become a tool that destroys independent workers' livelihoods. The backlash is growing. Freelancers globally are organizing boycotts, filing complaints, and migrating to Linux and Mac en masse. Microsoft's response? Silence. They won't acknowledge the problem. won't compensate victims, won't fix the underlying issues, and freelancers' livelihoods continue being destroyed daily. The forced update disasters that destroyed businesses.
You're
I know there
first.
aren't any lovers of Microsoft around here, but while some might think that this is more of a let's pick on the big corporation for the fun of it because we're trolls, it goes a lot deeper.
Windows 11's forced updates are killing freelance businesses. The pattern repeats globally. Freelancer is working on urgent client project. Deadline is tonight. Project is 9.
I can't stand watching this YouTube. Both the AI voice and using AI to edit their videos. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Alright, let's see here.
Hello, guys and gals.
Alright, there we go. There we go.
It's me, 𝙂𝙚, and in this saga of mass surveillance, I know I've been talking about it a lot, but it seems like things are ramping up even faster than I expected. Ladies and gentlemen, Apple decides that they're going to usher in the world of age verification. Yeah, literally baked right into your cell phones. Now, I'm going to be completely real with you, regardless of if you're an Apple user or, you know, an Android user, right? Like, depending on which operating system you have, you're all pretty much screwed, okay? Literally the best way to handle this, and I'm not even joking with you, is probably go back to the days of dumb phone engages, okay? Like where this kind of crap never existed. Anyways, though, I don't have this stuff sitting on my desk for no reason. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the message that it seems people in the United Kingdom are getting. Confirm you're 18 to update your restrictions. We're at a point where downloading an application off of the App Store might require you to confirm your identity. Now,
There's
before
all
we go
kinds
into
of
this, I just
fucked.
want to say this might actually be probably the best of the dog shit that we're getting, okay? Now, I'm not a fan of any of this. I think you all know this. But I'm at a point where I'm looking at probably the somewhat best implementation. So the way that this works is Apple says they're going to use information about your payment methods or actually see how long you have an Apple account to confirm you're an adult. Now, if you're somebody like me, you probably made your Apple account back in like the 2010s, late 2000s. And if you're that old, like if your account is that old, Apple's probably going to say, yeah, this guy's probably 18 years of age. Like if your account is 18, you're 18. And that's a normal way to look at it, right? But of course, this is the way that Apple's going to do it. Use a credit card to confirm you're an adult. So basically, you take your credit card out, you put it in front of the screen, Apple looks at your credit card and says, whoa, you're over 18. Now, why is a credit card a good method? Because the credit card, no matter where you live, from my understanding, you gotta be over the age of 18 to get one. You might be like, but what about minors? They have access to credit cards only if they're connected through their mommy and daddy's bank account, from my understanding at least. At least in Canada, a minor cannot sign a credit card contract. And that's a good thing, okay? Credit card companies are fucking terrible. If you use...
Oh, what about debit card? Because I got my bank account when I was 16. So, why are you gonna do that? Because it was my own?
a credit card, use it like a debit card. Don't fall into credit card debt. Of course, obviously everyone can't control that. And this is not me doing the credit cards are predatory rant, okay? I'm just giving you my honest opinion on this. But yeah, using your credit card to verify your age, actually not a bad idea. You know, to be fair with you, even Steam does this. It's basically the bare minimum you can do to actually get there. Now, what is the problem with the credit card method that can easily be identified by you? Well, if you pay attention, mommy and daddy's credit card usually gets given to little kids to buy things like V-Bucks. Now, again, this is not proper age verification, because if this was age verification, they would probably be needing identification cards or something. And here's the problem with all of these fucking laws. They are so easily circumvented. Remember, literally months ago when the UK was like, you can't watch, you know, anything on the internet that's naughty without an ID. You know what people did? They went to the fucking VPNs. VPNs shot up in searches like literally by 1,000%. Because everyone was like, wait a minute, this sucks. Let me use a VPN. And then the politicians were like, oh God, no. Get rid of the VPNs. Let's try banning it. Let's try putting age gates behind it. So now that we've got Apple coming over here basically complying, and to give you an idea, much like the Discord situation that I was looking at, this is a problem that everyone is going to face. It's actually ramping up, and this is why. So Apple decides that basically in all these countries, they're kind of forced to, right? So for instance, in places like Australia, Singapore, and Brazil, they're going to block users from downloading applications rated 18 plus. So that could even be like games that have, I guess, violence to them, right? That could be really anything. I mean, it could honestly be any kind of application you can imagine. Really any app that lets you communicate with somebody else, probably thrown 18 plus. The App Store will perform this automatically. However, developers have separate obligations to independently confirm that their users are adults. So they've got things like the Declared Age Range API, but of course, down over here too, they've also got situations where if a game has something like a loot box, for instance in Brazil, then you're going to have to do age verification because some countries rightfully consider that shit to be actual gambling, and you got to be an adult if you want to fucking gamble. So Utah and Louisiana, which is interesting that they listed these states right over here. There are certain states in the US that have pushed more age verifications, and some states that haven't done it yet, and some states that are currently in the process. So this whole situation is evolving very rapidly, very fast. And, you know, it started off with people wondering, well, it's happening in the UK, who gives a shit? The thing is, you lost the war on that front, and unfortunately, everyone loses the war internationally. That's why I talk about this, regardless of where you live, okay? Being a Canadian person myself, there's a lot of bullshit laws in the United States tech sphere that get passed, or in the UK, that you would think probably wouldn't affect you because you live on the other side of the ocean, or whatever.
Fair.
But they do, because it happens in one big country. These guys, these big tech companies, they're just going to do blanket age verification.
I need to search a pair of
blanket
shoes.
ID grabs, because that's the world we live in. They're getting forced from every angle. So unfortunately, the politicians that govern us, unfortunately, don't really have to be subject to this kind of crap, or really subject themselves. This is mostly for the common person that never wanted this to begin with. Now, to give you an idea, obviously, I think this is better because, hey, using a credit card, immediately, you're not really attaching your ID to it. Now, to give you a quick understanding, when you make an Apple account, you can just put your first, last name. You don't even have to attach things like a credit card to begin with. In some cases, depending on what Apple product you buy, you don't even need to make an Apple account to begin. Now, you need to make the Apple account, and now you need to verify it with a credit card, or you can delay it till later. But there's unfortunately no real point in delaying it, okay? If you want to get access to actual basic functionality, then you're going to have to provide that information. Now again, the credit card
sucks ass.
is good, okay? It's like a great stopgap. But like the VPN shit that I talked about earlier, bro, the politicians are just going to look at it and say, okay, kids are using their parents' credit cards to circumvent this bullshit. Let's start getting IDs. This is all stuff that the more circumventions we dig up, the more these fucking scumbag, sleazy politicians. Some of these politicians have even been on famous islands, by the way, where terrible things have happened. They're the ones pushing for this kind of crap, and they will not stop until, again, the age of mass surveillance is totally fucking complete. You should resist this at this point in time. I don't like any of this, and the reason I don't like any of this is because I know exactly where it leads. Now, of course, you might be like, well, it's great. I don't use a fucking iPhone. I use Android. And unfortunately, even for things like Android, it's not really pretty. Remember months ago, we looked at Android where out of nowhere, Google was like, wait a minute, all that extra functionality of you installing applications like sideloading it into your device, yeah, let's ramp that down a little bit. And their reasoning for that was because people were getting scammed. They were basically going to turn people's Android phones into Fisher-Price devices, which again, is not the reason you buy an Android phone. Android phones are built for the express purpose of being not just direct competitors to Apple, but also giving you a lot more functionality and freedom with your device.
I got an idea.
Literally, if you care about being a power user, always buy an Android, okay? Apple phones are fine until you actually want to do something outside of what Apple deems as okay. Want to run an emulator that actually requires things like just-in-time compilation? Gotta go through a fucking million hoops for this. Install an APK. Anyways, though, when it comes to Android, even for the developers, and this is something that you might not know of, Google kind of loosened this, but ultimately, at the end of the day, according to Google, developers that want to create an account and distribute applications outside the actual framework that Google provides apparently have to sign a $25 registration fee, complete an identity verification process, which involves submitting a valid government-issued ID, such as a passport or driver's license. Now, here's the issue with that. Imagine if you make privacy-focused applications or something, and you distribute them on the Android storefront or a third-party storefront. If you have to provide your ID and you made something sensitive, imagine a government being able to subpoena that developer's identification and doing God knows what with it. That is one of those things you have to think of. It's not something you should tolerate, okay? Imagine in a normal world if you were just using Microsoft Windows and you were distributing an exe file for people to download, but the only way that Microsoft would really let you do that is if you provided them your actual identification. It would be insanity. Nobody would be okay with that. But that's the world these scumbags are trying to fucking normalize. And the fact that it's happening on cell phones, which most people have cell phones. Some people don't even have a laptop or a desktop at this point, but most people definitely have access to a cell phone, and that's the market they want to hit first. They want to restrict every form of freedom that you have on these devices, unless, of course, you verify exactly who you are. Now, of course, Google says that there's some third-party flow that you can install applications. They'll just ask you 10 times if you want to. I have yet to see this, but the change I don't appreciate at all. And of course, even for that front, it's what are you going to do? Are you going to get a phone that is de-Googled? There's plenty of options that exist. Chinese phones that you can buy and install de-Googled Android operating systems. But at this point, we're playing whack-a-mole, and we're just trying to avoid the poison until it actually becomes, unfortunately, unavoidable. That's really the scary part of the story. You know, at least
it is scary.
To iPhones and Android devices, I feel like a lot of these politicians want to push a world where people not only have to verify themselves, but it's going to get to a point where we have to basically download only the approved applications that exist around us, right? At least when it comes to the Google side, and even Apple, when you can sideload stuff in certain areas like the EU, it's still not perfect. There's a lot of actual friction involved with giving up your actual identity when all people are doing are just downloading applications and installing them on their devices. I think we should live in a world where you should be allowed to download whatever you want, install it on the devices you pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in some cases for. And look, I get it, protecting children and everything is really important and whatnot, but what is the end goal for these organizations? What is the end goal for the government? Is the end goal just having our actual identification put inside a database that can be used in an incredibly disturbing mass surveillance mechanism to watch exactly what we interact with? I think that's a very important thing to worry about. I don't like the way the world is headed. And that's why I spend my time on my channel educating you guys and talking about this situation. Look, when it comes to iPhones, I didn't joke. I think for now, the credit card method is probably the best method that you have. But it's a method with an obvious loophole, right? The obvious loophole being that children who these people are trying to protect easily can just get their parents' credit card, and even in some cases when you go to the actual driver's license, they can just grab their IDs. It sounds good on paper because when you think about it, right, having Apple be the person that verifies your age, and then you would imagine that if you were to download any application or go to any website, Apple could actually use something built into their operating system and just say on, their behalf, yes or no, this person is an adult. That sounds really good on paper. But because of how easy the current method is to exploit, you can only really give it reasonably 6 months before the politicians come back to the table and just tighten up restrictions. And when they tighten up restrictions, a lot of these tech companies can't do anything but legally comply. Like, what are you going to do? Comply or exit an entire market? That's just not feasible. I think we're at a point too when it comes to even verifying ourselves. At least Apple has it somewhat right. Like, from what I understand, when Apple does scan your face through Face ID, a lot of that stuff, all that information stays locally on your device. A few days ago, we talked about age verification baked into our operating systems. And this is basically what the government wants to push. This is exactly what they had in mind. And it sounds good on paper when everything is at least locally processed on the device. But what happens when Apple now has to start taking people's identifications because the credit cards aren't enough? What happens when you actually do need to use a third-party service and verify your face? It's not something that even Apple would enjoy, but when you get so large, when you become the big tech company, you have to basically bend over and take it. And when the big tech company bends over and takes it, so do we. I think we're at a point too where, like, I'm not even joking, self-hosting, buying third-party devices that you install your own operating systems on, getting things like Linux, where it's almost virtually impossible for these organizations and governments to push verification into the OS, because nobody's going to download a Linux distribution that requires you to verify your identity when so many great alternatives will always exist. That
True.
is the world we're in. These guys are, it's crazy. When we made computers and the internet, we unleashed a crazy technology and allowed people to communicate with each other in the flash of seconds. And now, all of a sudden, literally decades later, the people, the old farts that govern us, suddenly want to take away this technology and start issuing mass surveillance, all within a matter of like months, if not just a few years. It's a wild world,
Yep.
man. But yeah, Apple's pushing global age verification. This is where we're at. Google, at least when it comes to its development schemes, is pushing age verification. And who knows how long it will take before Google pushes the exact same thing Apple is doing onto their App Store as well, which is, by the way, where most people get their applications from. How long until eventually this kind of stuff is also baked key into Android as well? It's a wild world, man.
I'm scared for that.
Yeah, hopefully you guys learned something. And honestly, hopefully a lot of you guys wake up. The only way to fight back against this is to call your fucking politician, yell their ear off. I'm not even joking. Yell their ear off, write your angry emails, and make your voice heard. Because if you don't fight for this right now, in the next 6 months to 12 months, literally before even GTA 6 drops, I'm not even memeing on that one, the world and the internet that we use is going to look substantially different than what it was just a few years ago. It's insane how far we've gotten, and it's insane how people just kind of let this go on. Don't fight back. Wake up. Rise. I am out.
Mm. Totally valid points, yes. Oh. With the series of these companies that are age ver the government trying to push for age verification is it's just a lot of bullshit. Like, the harder they try to restrict us, the more we're going to fight back. And eventually the people are gonna win. It's just the matter of people's votes is most important. We gotta vote against this. Oh.
Hi, Brentek here, where tech is made simple. So it seems that Microsoft is going to be pushing Copilot once again, this time by integrating it deeper into Microsoft Edge and
Oh no.
Outlook workflows when you are using Microsoft Outlook, where Microsoft is planning to automatically open the Copilot side pane in Edge when you click links from
Oh
Outlook.
no.
And this is all according to a roadmap entry. So if we head over to that quickly, Microsoft has this to say. Microsoft says, when users open links from Outlook, Microsoft Edge can automatically open the Copilot side pane to provide contextual insights and actionable suggestion chips based on email and destination content, such as highlighting key points and recommending next actions without disrupting the browsing flow.
Hell
This
no.
experience helps users quickly understand content, take action with fewer steps, and get more value from Copilot while extending productive browsing time in Edge. So this looks like a push on two fronts, both for Copilot and the Edge browser. And that's according to the Microsoft 365 roadmap, as we can see. So basically what's going to happen is when this feature rolls out, you get a link in Outlook, you click the link, it's going to open up that link in Edge, and then the Copilot sidebar is going to open, and then we'll highlight key points and suggestions, like as an example, scheduling a follow-up or drafting a reply, or just summarizing what's on that particular page. And according to the roadmap, the rollout is scheduled to begin in May this year. And at this stage, it's unclear whether the Copilot side pane will be optional or will be enabled by default when the update does roll out. So it's
mostly enabled by default. I'm calling it.
Microsoft really assertive now with pushing Copilot into every nook and cranny, and also the Edge browser. But obviously, if I get more info and this becomes a working feature in May, and I get knowledge of that, I'll post and keep you guys in the loop. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for the loop. We'll definitely need it. Alright, let's see here. Alright. Alright, there we go. Oh.
Americans are giving up because we have no incentive to keep going.
Yeah, no shit. Alright. There we go.
I don't know what's. I don't know. This world is just weird, bro.
I feel like I've been in a phase of my life right now where I just don't want to show up.
Before I go, bro, you have this shit on record. I am tired, bro. That's it. I'm tired.
Well, aren't y'all Americans just burnt out everywhere? I can see it in y'all's faces, okay? I can see it whenever I go out somewhere to like a social event or something like that, and people are trying their hardest to like be social, but like it's like mentally draining to them, you know. People are full of tension and things of that nature, and they're just checking out. There's no way of saying it, you know. They're not quitting life in a sense. They're not like really disappearing or anything like that, but they are mentally clocking out of society. People don't really care about climbing the corporate ladder anymore because the ladder just leads to the same stress with a nicer view, honestly. And they don't care about the future because the future feels like more bills, more pressure, and less breathing room. So they're doing the bare minimum to survive and emotionally disengaging from everyone and everything else. People are doing just enough to not get fired at work. Politics, none of it really changes anything. Community, everyone is just too busy surviving. That's not apathy, that's exhaustion. Because when the cost of living eats every ounce of progress, people stop investing emotionally in systems that don't invest back into them. The American social construct used to be very simple for us. You contribute, and in return, you get stability. Now it feels like you contribute, and in return, you get more stress. And many of these people, they're opting out of ambition. They're opting out of long-term planning. They're opting out of believing that effort will be rewarded in any meaningful way. Because people are tired of having to work for things that they believe that they already deserve because of the fact that they're alive, like food, water, and things that we get for free on this earth. You can't build a healthy society.
Things we should get for free.
That feels trapped in survival mode all the time. You really can't. They don't mentor. They don't build local culture, and they don't protect their energy because they don't have any to spare. And here's the uncomfortable truth: when large numbers of people mentally check out of society, the system will still run, but it runs hollow. The economy still moves, the jobs still get done, but belief in the system is gone. And once people believing that society is working for them, they stop showing up as full-time participants. They will stop caring if it breaks. And that is a warning sign that no one really talks about. Now, I don't think
that's true.
This isn't really about entitlement, honestly, but this is what happens when the cost of living will outpace the value of living. And the indifference and the gap is spreading fast.
Before I go, bro, you have this shit on record. I am tired, bro. That's it. I'm tired. I'm fucking tired, bro. I just tried to go donate plasma, but because I just found out I'm homeless because I've been living in a motel for the past year and a half. But because I can't fucking donate. So even the hundred fucking dollars that you give me for the thousands of dollars that you get from the byproduct of my body, I can't even have that. Ah! Fuck! Shit!
Rip.
Oh my god.
Rip.
Oh my god. I get sick for a few weeks and that shit sets back my whole fucking life.
That was me if I get sick for 1 day, let alone 3 days. That sets me back a whole few months. Holy fucking shit. This is what I'm doing in commissions as well. So I like to make something.
I can't afford to be sick. I don't deserve to be sick. And what you telling me is I don't deserve to eat, bro. Ah! Shit! Oh my god. And like what life is telling me is all I gotta do is be a little bit more evil, bro. Every fucking opportunity that I had that I've lost, bro, is because I couldn't slice somebody. Every fucking opportunity, bro. That is so crazy. Either that or me being sick, and that is so fucking wild. What you telling me is this world is not for me, bro. That's what y'all are constantly telling me. And we're okay with this. We're okay with this. I don't want to live in a world like this where I have to wait else in your life and still won't even be able to have like basic health care. That shit doesn't make any sense to me. I don't want to live in a world like this, bro. It's nobody fucking. It does not. I can't live in a world like this, bro. I can't live in a world like this because this shit's not just about me. I'm tired and I'm tired of watching this shit, yo. There's a man 2 blocks from me fucking starving and falling apart. I can't do shit about that. Nobody can do shit about that. And nobody wants to. And nobody cares to. I don't want to live in a world like this, yo. I'm telling you.
Even if I wanted to, I don't have the money to even do so. It's just fucked up. It is fucked up. They've gotta fucking change that.
When you care. I don't want to live in a world where nobody fucking cares about one another. And it's normal. It's okay. It's normal to hurt people, and it's fucking not normal to be loving. This is not for me. It's not. It's just not, and that's cool, but it's just fucking not for me.
I don't know what's.
Yes.
I don't know. This world is just weird, bro. You people and jobs and the way things are set up is just odd. You just get tired of it.
Exactly.
I'm fed up with everybody. I don't know what it is, but everybody's getting on my damn nerves. Strangers, people I know, family, friends. Everybody is getting on my damn nerves. I don't know what it is, but I am tired of y'all. I am sick and tired of y'all. Like,
I hate my life.
Yeah.
A lot of us, that is us right now.
Yeah.
I hate my life. I hate everything about it.
Yeah.
And then the further we went down in verses 18 and 19, God, why did you allow me to be born?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have never been born. I wish when I came out of my mother's womb, I went straight to the grave. Why did you allow me to be here? To experience all this pain, to torment me? And then if you go up, it says, I know I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Have y'all ever been at a point in life where you're just tired of everything? You're tired of school. You're tired of having to wake up early. You're just tired of the whole routine of your life. You're tired of that girl who keeps on playing in your face. You're tired of being around your friends and feeling all this weird tension and animosity. You're tired of your parents screaming all the time. You're honestly at your boiling point. You just want to let everything go. You just want everything that you've been trying to keep together for so long to just fall apart. You're just over it. When you're that person who is the glue to every single situation in your life, you might just have to let things fall apart. Things that make sense, like school, lock in with school. But like when it comes to those weird friends, you might have to stop being that friend who always fixes things, who always tries to make sure that group doesn't fall apart. That girl that's playing in your face, it might be time to just cut her loose. You have to realize the things that you're holding onto in your life that is making it harder to hold on to your life. The way I look at it, I only try to keep things afloat in my life that make sense. Some things you have to let drown, because at a point you have to think to yourself, why am I holding on to this person or this thing that just brings stress and pain into my life? Some things are worth letting go.
I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, like no contact with the mom.
I just can't.
It's going to time.
It's the weekend and I'm already just a little while away from having to go back to the same job that I've been praying for God knows how long to be able to leave. And I've been applying and I've been looking, but I'm not finding nothing. I can't do this anymore. This is not the life I chose. It's not the life. This is not. I mean, I chose it, but it's not the life I prayed for. It's not the life I wanted. Like, why me? Why does everyone else get a chance to be in a better position? I know I'm a good person. I know I'm a good person. I promise you, if you've ever met me, you know I'm a good person. I don't do nobody wrong. I do anything to help people that I can. Like the Bible says, you reap what you sow. I've sowed so many positive seeds. I've been a great person in the world. Why don't I, like where is the turnaround for me? Where's the turning point for me? Why am I so stuck? Why can't I find what I'm looking for? I just want to have enough to take care of me and those that I love and to just have an enjoyable life. But I'm stuck. so stuck. If you can relate to that video, I just want you to know you're not by yourself. There are thousands, millions of people who feel the same way you do. But then there's those few people in the world who decided that they got tired of feeling that way and decided to take aggressive action and do something about it. Yeah, I could sit here and validate and affirm you and your emotions
I'm
and your
thinking.
feelings. But when we get done doing that, what then?
Well,
To take aggressive action and do something about it.
I'm taking aggressive action, doing the art commissions and trying to, at the very least, save up. I have to make a lot of sacrifice to do that. I'm happy for the people I have around me. I really am. I really hope shit gets better, not only for me, but also for everyone else. I really do hope shit gets better, because this shit ain't right. It is said we should try to provide a better future for the next generation. Always is like common sense. Yet millennials and Gen Z, we get breadcrumbs. If that. And put it emphasis and in quotes, if that. It's still fucked up. It is so fucked up.
Yeah, I could sit here and validate and affirm you and your emotions and your feelings. But when we get done doing that, what then? What we gonna do now? Because Monday is coming, Tuesday is coming, Wednesday is coming, Thursday is coming. You can't keep living your life just for the weekend, hoping that one day something will just fall in your lap.
Why did you pants me? Hi, Linda. Welcome. Wait, Migu! Migu! Hi! Meow! Hi, Migu. How are you?
It's not coming. You have to be the one that...
You're such a good girl. You're such a good girl, sweetie. You're a very good girl. You're very much a good girl. Always a good girl. Alright. I'm pretty good. I have to do one more thing tonight. That one more thing should be me. Okay, sorry. Alright. Go do what you have to do. It will. It will. Alright.
Created.
Correction. What is it? Two more things. Two more things. Good. Yay! It will. Alright, go do what you have to do. And do me.
You have to be the one to go get it. You have to be the one to step out on faith and stop being driven by fear. I was in your same shoes, and then one day I decided to take action. And I would love to share with you what worked for me. And I don't got time to be trying to sell you nothing that's not going to work. I'm only going to give you truth. But the reality of it is this. Some of us would prefer to live a lie than step out on faith and face the truth. If you want truth that could change your life, comment below truth. But if you prefer to stay stuck, then I'm praying for you.
Most are giving up because we have no incentive to keep going. There's no jobs. There's no jobs. There's a shit ton of student debt. The depreciation of our degrees happened like that. Nobody can anticipate what the market's going to look like. Nobody can anticipate what civilization is going to look like with the boom of AI, with the collapse of the climate, with the economic collapse, with the dismantling of human rights and civil rights that were already under attack. There's just no way to plan and predict your future. Nobody knows whether, nobody can buy a house. Nobody knows whether they have the security to start a family. Nobody knows where is safe. Nobody knows how to establish their goals and how to enact any action upon those goals.
Exactly, unfortunately.
Leave. People don't know how to leave. People don't know where is safe to go. There is so much upheaval. This is the death of an empire, and this is the death of all of the ways we were taught to imagine our lives unfolding. So that is a very terrifying thing, and I think people are going to respond, obviously, in an array of ways, but the ones that I'm really seeing are complete denial while looking right at it. And I mean that to say that people are registering the disruption, and these are for people who haven't had their day-to-day fully dismantled yet because of this. But I've seen this like in people who are pretty like decently well off, but still like, you know, everyone is vulnerable to what is happening. But to the you know, kind of lower, like to less vulnerable people, they're kind of just tuning it out because it's too much, it's overwhelming, and they're going on as though these systems are still going to be going on. They're still putting money into their retirement savings. They're still trying to figure out if they can invest in a house. They're still tracking when they, you know, are going to get married and have their babies, and
unfortunately.
And all that, you know. People are wanting to fight to carry on as usual to maintain the facade of normalcy, which again, normalcy is rooted in corruption. So it isn't doing anything to quote unquote keep the peace or stay safe. In fact, I think that's deepening the violence because the corrosion that we're seeing right now in society at large is because of these systems having been set up to fail. And we're seeing that because people go without consequences. That's what I mean by corruption, exploitation. There are not consequences for horrendous deeds, and we are not meant to be witnessing, you know, a G-side every day. Nobody can take that, and we're not even just witnessing one, we're witnessing multiple. And people can't handle that. Our minds aren't, a lot of our minds don't have the elasticity to fit that all in there. And then we, and especially in America and the Western world, people aren't feeling their feelings. People don't know how to feel their feelings. People don't know how to make room to process their emotions. People can rationalize their emotions. People can suppress their emotions. People get trapped in the cyclical people get trapped in the denial of their feelings, all of these things because it hurts. It hurts to feel your feelings sometimes. It hurts to feel these feelings, especially. But but the only way out is through, and that doesn't mean the pain goes away, but that means you can turn the pain into something else. You can fight the pain. The pain will mobilize you. But if it immobilizes you, and you don't persist through the feeling and move through the feeling of it, you're going to be immobilized. And I'm not saying like this is like a flip a switch. Like this is a practice. This is a practice that we all have to keep doing, that I'm constantly doing. How do I feel my feelings without completely losing my sanity to them, you know? And I'm not saying that I know how to do that. I'm just saying that we have to practice. So yeah, Americans are giving up because giving up is what is instinctive, you know? And it's quite rational to do so. And I think, you know, we don't have, again, the foundation for community support, for mutual aid. That isn't built in systemically. And we're seeing that within our generation. Generation Z is very much, you know, into destigmatizing mental illness, very vocal about mental health, very vocal about queerness, very vocal about human rights.
Exactly.
You know, all of this. People, I think a lot of it stems to as well confrontations with mortality, because white supremacy is the fear of death. And I can make a whole video on that as well. But anything that enforces hierarchy, enforces subjugation and control, is to assert control over nature, which you can't do because we are humbled as human beings by the natural world. We do not reign it. We do not rule it. We can help it, but instead we're actively destroying it. It makes no fucking sense. Okay, I'm getting deterred here, but all that to say, yeah, Americans are not okay because Americans should not be okay. None of this is okay, and Americans are disturbed because Americans should be disturbed. This is all very disturbing. So yeah, I'm not saying to just like...
You know what we're witnessing? We're literally witnessing the fall of the Roman Empire again, but in modern times. That's what's happening. People don't want to accept it, but that's what's happening.
Like wallow, weep, or whatever. But I'm also saying to feel your feelings, and maybe that's what that's gonna look like for you for a while. I don't know, but we all have to get to the other side of it. We can't stay in the stagnant, idle, apathetic, you know, weird kind of automatic going through life, playing a part in a play that isn't going on anymore. That storyline, it just doesn't exist anymore. There's no audience in that room. You're gonna keep going and you're performing for an empty room. Hopefully that makes sense within the context of what I'm talking about. We are living lives and preparing for lives that are built within worlds that do not exist anymore.
So true.
So how do we recalibrate from that? Step one, acknowledge it.
Oh, I need to give my hands a break.
So that's what this is. And I think step two, broaden your imagination. And that does not mean, and that means gather information. That means expand your consciousness, your capacity to feel, to connect, to be actionable and involved. And that also means imagining beyond these limited systems, imagining beyond, you know, all of these kind of archaic ways of being that are extremely unnatural and destructive. Imagine beyond that, know that's possible. And then I think step three is a unified action. So let that begin with individual action, find ways to be in unity with other people, and throughout this, you need to mend your mind, you need to be taking care of yourself, you need to know that there is another side to this all-consuming grief, and it is all-consuming grief in action. That's what it is. And that's what love looks like, by the way. That's what it means to love. So Americans are giving up. I don't need y'all to give up. I need y'all to give in. Give the fuck in to that feeling, to that pain, and fight.
I feel like I've been in a phase of my life right now where I just don't want to show up. I'm exhausted, where pulling myself out of this rut is taking longer than I thought, where everything I'm doing, where everything I've done that has worked in the past is not working now, where I'm waking up more exhausted, and to be honest, I just don't feel called to even take care of myself right now. Where everything that I'm doing doesn't seem to be working. I keep coming back to this square one, and I can't make sense of it. I can't. And I want to, and maybe it's not the time yet, but I just want to give up. I want to sit and scream. I've been screaming in my car more. I've been just tired. And I can't seem to get out of this rut. And I swear that I'm trying. And even trying looks like stillness, right? Going, taking my breaks. If I don't feel like working out, I won't. But it's like, I'm scared that I might be stuck in this for too long, and I don't want to. I don't know what's happening right now. And to be honest, I don't really care to know.
is my reality. I'm fucking 36 years old. I was in a car accident, suffered a brain injury, and nobody cares. My mom's like, how you gonna pay these bills? And you laying in my house with not paying nothing, and I'm leaving lights on. Yo, I got a brain injury. Nobody cares about you. I realize in life, nobody don't give a fuck about you. Nobody cares about anybody. What can you do for me? And where the fuck is God? Like, I never question God, y'all, but this is crazy, man. I don't get it. Like, why would God want us to suffer? I know we all go through things, but this is crazy. I got 2 huskies. I can't even afford to feed them. Like, this shit crazy, man. I didn't plan on getting in the car accident, hitting my head and suffering a concussion or what. This shit crazy. And now I'm on TikTok talking about it. Because I don't got no fucking friends. Shit sucks, man. Man, if y'all don't see me for a while, man, fuck it.
Everything sucks.
But, bitch, fuck it. I'm finna redirect, man. I might have to do some whole other shit. I might get bad. It's about to be crazy.
One day you really do wake up and be like, I'm sick of this shit. And everything changes.
And it gets to a point where you don't even be mad no more. You just be done. Like, I'm done. I'm not even mad. This cannot be my reality no more. Like, I just don't want to keep going through this shit no more. Like, you don't even be irritated. You don't even want to argue. You don't even want to go back and forth. Like, it don't even be worth your oxygen. It don't be worth your time. It don't be worth your energy. Like, I'm just cool. Like, I dealt with this shit long enough. I tolerated this shit long enough. And I just don't want to do this shit no more. Like, and it don't even be no bad blood or nothing. Like, it's no hard feelings or nothing. I'm just cool. Like, I don't want this no more. Like, I'm not trying to do this shit no more. Especially when, like, you be trying to grow and trying to, like, become a different person, like a better person. And you know that, like, that one thing keep taking you back to, like, that person that you don't want to be no more. Like, it's good, bro. It's good. Like, I be so over shit. Like, I don't even be mad. I just be done. Like, I'm just done. I'm just cool. Like, go ahead. I'm good.
Is anybody just over everything and everybody? As you can tell by my damn head, I am tired of every fucking thing. Everything irritates the hell out of me, and I want to be left alone.
There.
Americans are giving up because
Okay. Oh boy.
Need for Speed is kind of a chameleon. Every generation, it decides to do something different. Sometimes it's neon-soaked street racing. Sometimes it's cops and helicopters. Sometimes it tries to be almost a simulator. Sometimes it turns into an event, festival. And in all that back and forth, a bunch of weird, bold, and honestly genius ideas show up for 1 or 2 games, then vanish as if they never existed. And today I've gathered several of them, strange and forgotten. Need for Speed features that deserve to be remembered, and in some cases, really deserve to come back. The rule is simple: what it was, why it was added, and why on earth it disappeared. Racing for your own car, NFS high stakes. Let's start with an idea that today would seem too hardcore for an arcade racer: racing for pink slips. In Need for Speed, high stakes, NFS 4, there was a high stakes mode that was literally a race for pink slips. You pick your car, your opponent picks theirs, and the loser loses the car. Yes, goodbye garage. And to make it even more brutal, the game pushes you into those delightfully stressful financial decisions. Spend money on upgrades or save it so you don't go broke. And here's a detail a lot of people forget. High stakes also treated damage as something real. Crash? It's not just a dented bumper and back to business. Damage could affect performance and turn into repair costs in career mode, the kind of thing that changes how you drive. Because suddenly hitting a wall isn't just ugly, it's expensive. Why is this so different from modern NFS? Because today the game wants to keep you in flow. Crash, reset, keep going, no heavy punishment. High stakes did the opposite. It put consequences on your impatience. And honestly, there's a brutal charm to that. Maybe not for everyone, but as an optional mode, it would be insanely good. You work for Porsche now. Porsche Unleashed Factory Driver. Now here's one so off curve it feels like it belongs to another franchise. Need for Speed. Porsche Unleashed wasn't just another NFS with cool cars. It had a mode called Factory Driver, where you literally become an official Porsche test driver, climbing the ranks inside the company through specific missions and objectives. This is bizarre for one simple reason. NFS overall has always been a street fantasy. And here, for a moment, it flirts with a motorsport career in an almost educational way. You can feel that someone on the team wanted to make a game that celebrated the brand's history and used the mission structure as an excuse to make you drive a bunch of different cars in different contexts. Outrun, the most natural way to start beef. Underground 2. Alright, now let's go full street. Underground 2 had mandatory free roam. You had to drive around the city to reach events, instead of just selecting everything from a menu.
Yep.
To guide you, the game used calls, Josh text messages, and scattered money and info icons across the map, like useful collectibles, because they actually paid you for exploring. And in that open world, there was a mode a lot of people played without even realizing its full potential. Outrun. Here's how it works. You're cruising, you pull up next to another car, and you trigger a 1v1 race right there. No loading screen, no menu, nothing. And the rule isn't reach the finish line first. It's distance-based. You have to build a lead and maintain it until you create a specific gap. That's an incredible idea because it turns the city into a living racetrack. You start a race out of nowhere, in a place you chose, the way you chose, and navigation becomes part of the skill. It's exactly the kind of feature that would fit perfectly in a modern NFS with a big map and alternate routes. But for some reason, it almost never comes back in that simple form. Nitro, you have Underground 2, Racebreaker. Still in Underground 2, there's a mechanic I miss to this day. Nitrous that doesn't refill on its own. In UG2, Nitro could be used multiple times, but the refill was manual. You recharged it by performing stunts and earning style points, drifting, near misses, things like that. In other words, to have Nitro, you had to drive stylish and dangerous. That completely changes the game's rhythm. Nitro becomes a reward for attitude. You don't just save Nitro because. You produce Nitro when you decide to drive on the edge. And when the series moved to Most Wanted 2005, Nitro started refilling automatically as the car moved, which is more accessible, but also less expressive. If you want something that makes the player behave in a specific way, this is an insanely powerful design tool. And yes, it's also the kind of thing you could toggle on or off as a difficulty option. Speedbreaker, the weirdest bullet time ever. Most Wanted 2005 Carbon Undercover. Now, let's talk about a weird classic, Speedbreaker. Most Wanted 2005 introduced a button that literally puts the game in slow motion. And it's not just for style. The idea is to give you precision to weave through traffic, roadblocks, spike strips, all on reflex. The gauge is short and refills when you're going fast. The game encourages you to live on the edge. And there's a detail people often overlook. In Most Wanted, Speedbreaker also makes your car heavier, helping you avoid getting pushed around and letting you smash through blockades. This is a very video game idea. It's NFS saying, yes, I know this isn't realistic, but I want you to feel like the protagonist in the trailer. And because of that, it's a feature that aged in a curious way. Some people love it, others think it breaks the challenge. But as an optional mechanic, or even an upgrade item, it would be a great way to accommodate different types of players without touching the core design. Pursuit Breakers and the Chase. Most Wanted 2005. Most Wanted 2005 also had a very specific way of turning pursuits into set pieces. Pursuit Breakers. They're environmental traps, like driving through a gas station and dropping debris onto the cops, that can take out multiple police cars at once. And they're marked on the mini-map precisely so you treat the city like a tactical escape board.
Make sure
What
save.
makes this special is that it's not just about driving better. It's about reading the map, choosing routes, planning. And the game even has that cooldown phase, where you need to disappear and avoid being seen until the pursuit ends. Today, many pursuits in games turn into survival. Hold out long enough, and you're done. Most Wanted treated pursuits like a movie scene, with a beginning, middle, climax, and hiding spot. It's a style, and I miss that style. Rewards as cards as Most Wanted 2005, markers. And since we're already in
I need water.
there's a small feature that traumatized a generation. The markers. If
Mm-hmm.
you defeat a blacklist racer, the game gives you 6 cards to choose from. 3 are mysterious, with question marks, and can grant very different rewards. Cash bonuses, impound strike advantages, and, the most desired, the pink slip, meaning your rival's car. The other markers are usually customization items and special upgrades. This is slightly cruel design because it turns victory into a casino. You won the race, now you have to win at luck. And that's where the legend is born. Canyon Duel, a race that feels like a Western showdown. Carbon. If Most Wanted turned pursuits into cinema, Carbon turned racing into a duel. Canyon Duel is a mode where you start behind your rival and earn points by staying glued to them, as close as possible, without crashing. The tension is all about how much pressure can you handle, and there's an instant win condition. If you overtake and stay in front for 10 seconds, it's over. This is genius for 2 reasons. First, it naturally creates narrative. You're literally hunting the other driver. Second, because it shifts the skill the game tests. It's not just about clean racing lines, it's about control under pressure, with a cliff on one side and almost no room to breathe. Why did it disappear? Because it takes real effort to build routes and AI that work well in that format. But honestly, Canyon Duel is one of the most memorable ideas of the black box era. And I genuinely think it deserved to return, only as a side mode. Wingman, your support cast in a race. Carbon, another thing Carbon tried and then abandoned. Crews and Wingman. You build a team and recruit members with specific roles.
I want to try something else.
During races, you can activate your wingman's
Tried that before.
like drafting for you, blocking opponents, or even helping reduce police heat depending on the member. And here's the strange and perfect touch. Beyond race abilities, certain crew members unlock career bonuses, including customization parts. Some guides even list specific members who unlock auto-sculpt components. That gives the game a subtle RPG flavor that NFS rarely has. Your team actually matters. And I understand why they dropped it, balancing AI behavior, clarity, but conceptually, it's way more interesting than just, you're the chosen one, and everyone else fades into the background. Auto-sculpt, customization you actually shaped, Carbon, Pro Street, Undercover. Since I mentioned auto-sculpt, let's talk about auto-sculpt itself. Instead of just picking a bumper and calling it a day, auto-sculpt let you sculpt small changes into various parts, adjusting the shape of spoilers, side skirts, bumpers, hoods, almost like bodywork sliders. This kind of customization surprisingly became rare, because it's harder to build artistically and harder to ensure it won't look broken or glitchy across every possible combination. But if you lived through the Carbon era, you remember. It felt amazing to spend half an hour just tweaking the shape until the car truly felt yours. And the most curious part? Auto-sculpt appeared in several games. Carbon, Pro Street, Nitro, and Undercover. In other words, it existed, it worked, and the series still let it go. Maybe because modern focus shifted to wraps, neon, effects, and less to actual body shaping. But as a concept, auto-sculpt remains one of the coolest customization systems NFS ever had. Highway Battle, an outrun with highway adrenaline, Undercover. Need for Speed. Undercover has its issues, yes, but it has a mode I always felt was underrated, Highway Battle. It's described as a special type of outrun, and the rule is simple. You have to overtake and maintain a 1,000-foot lead, about 300 meters. All of that on highways packed with traffic, with huge room for speed, and disaster. Why is this forgotten? Because Undercover carried the weight of its overall reputation. But isolated from the rest of the game, Highway Battle has fantastic energy. It's not a checkpoint race, not a standard sprint. It's a raw fight for territory at high speed. I wouldn't say it needs to come back exactly as it was, but the idea of distance domination-based racing is gold. And the series has proven that more than once. Weapons on real cars, Hot Pursuit 2010, equipment in Pursuit Tech. Now, for one of the most unapologetically video game things the franchise ever embraced. Equipment. Hot Pursuit 2010 puts you in 2 separate careers. One as a racer, and one as a cop. And part of the charm
I love Hot Pursuit.
different. But the cherry on top is that in pursuit modes, both cops and racers can use weapons or gadgets, spike strips, jammers, and other pursuit tech. For players who grew up with more grounded NFS titles, This was almost shocking. Suddenly the game felt like a power-up tag match, just with licensed cars. Why does this count as weird and forgotten? Because it represents an identity the franchise keeps touching and abandoning. Sometimes NFS wants to be street racing. Now, other times it wants to be arcade cops versus racers. And Pursuit Tech is basically the ultimate symbol of that arcade side. Autolog and all drive. When the game became a social network, Hot Pursuit 2010 rivals. Now, here's one that's less about racing mechanics and more about experience design. Hot Pursuit 2010 introduced Autolog, a social system that constantly showed you what your friends had done and nudged you to beat their records. Your friends set a time, the game hands you a ready-made challenge with their name attached, almost like automated trash talk. And in Rivals, that philosophy evolves into All Drive. The game blends single-player and multiplayer seamlessly, letting you jump into events with other players without leaving your solo experience, and allowing organic encounters in the open world. Today, that sounds normal. Back then, it was bold. And the reason it's forgotten is simple. When it works, it's magical. When it doesn't, connection issues, servers, matchmaking, it becomes frustrating. But the core idea, asynchronous competition and organic player interaction, is one of the best concepts NFS brought into the online era. In the end, these features tell a story. Need for Speed has always been a laboratory. Sometimes the experiment fails and disappears. Sometimes it works, but the team changes, the engine changes, the focus changes, and nobody has the time to rebuild it from scratch. And sometimes, honestly, the game just forgets it already had a great idea. So I want to know from you, which of these features would you bring back tomorrow if you could? And what's that weird mechanic from some NFS you remember? The one you swear existed, but it feels like it was erased from the timeline? If you enjoyed this, drop a comment. I love hunting down these oddities. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe. Because the best part is watching the comments section turn into a full-blown museum of memories the series never repeated.
That's so true. I want to get these in real quick. Alright. Go. Alright, ooh. I want to get these in real quick. Alright. Come on. Bitch. There we go. Thank you. Ooh. Also, you can take an hour break real quick. Let my hand rest, and then we'll go on to the next portion. The next portion. Holy shit. Ah, fuck. Itchy. There we go. is pretty much switch over to YouTube. Oh, okay. I completely forgot. I don't usually use my 3D model. Oh, fuck me. Yes. A little bit 3D models here. Pardon. Alright, let's load it up. There we go. I need to make sure. God damn it. You don't have Discord open. Guess it relies on Discord being open. Alright. Now I'm gonna properties. Alright. What the I did add a habit.
Well, it's happening. Apple age verification is here, and by extension, iPhones. Yep, iPhones are now going to be having age verification for the App Store, and this is going to be a global rollout. As usual, it started
Which is also shit.
Apple will be blocking downloads of apps rated 18+ in Brazil, Australia, Singapore, while also rolling out other features to comply with laws in Utah and Louisiana in the United States. It always starts in the UK, and then it ends up literally everywhere. So don't celebrate right now and think, oh, I don't live in any of these places, so I'm good. I don't have to worry about the Apple age verification. Remember, started off in the UK, and now it's spreading around to all these different countries and states around the world. This is what it's going to be looking like. So when you go ahead over to your settings, it's going to have an option over here that says confirm you're 18+ to update your restrictions. To change these restrictions, the UK requires you to confirm that you're an adult. And then you see this little note over here that they make pretty small, so we can't read it. Apple may use information about your payment methods on file or the length of time you have maintained an Apple account to confirm you're an adult. A valid credit card can help confirm you're at least 18 because you must be an adult to open a credit card account. And then over here, it'll say all set.
Apple. That can be easily circumvented by having your parent help you open an account, or pretty much using your account, using your parent's account, and stuff like that.
The length of time you've had on an Apple account was used to confirm you're 18+. Now this would be if Apple uses the information they already have about you to confirm you're 18, so I guess you wouldn't have to do age verification in that situation. Now in terms of Apple specifically, this wasn't as simple as other websites like Discord and Roblox. Apple was actually putting up a fight against age verification. They were saying that they actually don't want to do ID age verification. They were pushing back on this, saying that this would be violating the privacy of everybody that uses Apple, App Store, iPhones, and every Apple-related product. And it was actually getting to the point where Apple's CEO was actually setting up meetings with the government to try to get this overturned, basically stating that this is not a good way to actually go ahead and verify people's ages. It's just going to be violating people's privacy, and it should be up to a parent or guardian to actually protect the safety of their children. So basically,
exactly,
using common sense. Obviously, it should be up to the parents and guardians to see what they do on their iPhones and any website, because most of these websites, including Apple, actually already does have parental safety controls in place. The parents and guardians nowadays that are advocating for ID age verification and AI facial scans are just dumb, and they haven't actually looked at all the parental controls that Apple has. Instead, they want everyone.
They literally parental controls are mandated back in the early 2000s, and they want parents on ID verification. Like, I blame the parents on this. I really do.
Submit an ID, so all of our privacy gets violated, so all of our data gets collected just because they can't be a parent. I mean, it's just really frustrating. So I made this video with, as you can see, a pretty poorly aged title, Age Verification Just Met Its Match, where I was talking about the fact that Apple is actually bucking up against age verification. Well, it seems like they have lost that war, or at least they have in the specific regions that age verification is getting rolled out to. Because as I said, Brazil, Australia, Singapore, and some states like Utah and Louisiana will be getting this age verification update. So they said that they're going to be expanding tools, including an updated declared age range API now available for beta testing, and the types of age verification will actually depend on the specific area. Typically, it's basically being done to restrict certain apps like social media that can only be used by adults 18 and up. In Brazil, for example, the developers can use a declared age range API to obtain the user's age category if the user or their parent or guardian chooses to share it. In addition, Apple will block users in Australia, Brazil, and Singapore from downloading apps rated 18+, starting today until they confirm they are adults. In this case, the App Store will perform the age confirmation automatically, but Apple notes that developers may still have separate compliance requirements they need to meet. Now, this is where things get a little bit confusing, because from some of the screenshots that I've seen, it seems like it's not just apps that are 18+, but any apps. Maybe this is just exclusive to the UK, but as you can see from this note over here, confirm you're 18+ to update your restrictions, change your restrictions. The UK requires you to confirm that you're an adult. Confirm later, you will not be able to download and purchase apps or make in-app purchases until you confirm you're 18+. So, and over here, there's no indication that the apps have to be 18+ apps. It sounds like they're saying if you don't verify your age, you can't download any apps in general. You can't download like a sports app or something like that.
Shit.
Like I said, maybe that's just because that's just for the UK, and Australia, Brazil, Singapore, and those other places will have separate rules. But yeah, it seems like in some places you have to verify your age to download an 18+ app.
I wonder. In terms of like, pretty much, basically certain apps that helps women track their track their women problems. Are they, if they refuse to ID verify, are they just not allowed to get those kind of apps? Like, you gotta think about this.
But other places you have to verify your age to download any app in general. So they're using their new signals that are available through the declared age range API, including whether age-related regulatory requirements apply to the user and if the user is required to share their age range. The API will also let you know if you need to get a parent or guardian's permission for significant app updates for a child. And so they actually mentioned the stuff that I was talking about in last October. Apple last October worked to comply with similar age assurance requirements in Texas, but put some of its plans on hold back in December as the state's law is being fought in court. It also updated its age rating system last year with more granular age ranges than before, and added a variety of new questions for developers submitting apps to Apple for review. So yeah, we've lost another one to age verification, unfortunately. Like, I get it that Apple tried to fight it, and I guess they're trying to just do what they got to do, but I just wish that these companies that have billions of dollars, I think Apple probably has like $1 trillion net worth, right? Actually, I was wrong. They actually have way more than that. They actually have an estimated net worth of about $3.7 trillion, so it actually just goes to the fact that these guys have so much money, so much assets, and I feel like they could easily fight these types of laws if they wanted to, but maybe I guess they're trying. I don't know. It's just really hard to trust these billionaires and corporations. Like I said, age verification always seemed like it was about one thing: collecting biometric data, violating your privacy, trying to control everybody on the internet, and trying to watch what everybody does on the internet. It's for the kids. It's for the kids, they say. On Apple, a company that has so many parental controls on an iPhone. If you actually go take a look at an iPhone and look at all the parental controls there, parents can control pretty much exactly what their kids do on the iPhone. They can restrict them from doing pretty much anything that they want. That same logic actually applies to the internet as well in general.
Exactly.
You just go into the settings of like your internet browser or your router or whatever, and you can pretty much just go ahead and disable your kid's ability to access any type of website that you don't want them to see. So it just really comes down to the fact that these guys are always talking about age verification through credit cards, through IDs, through AI facial scans. It's just like, god damn, man. Don't all these websites and apps and companies and everything already have all these freaking like parental control settings there? That's what they're for. That's the entire point of them, to make sure that you can parent your kids and watch what they do. But instead, the only solution they can always only think of is everybody hand over your ID. Everybody have an AI facial scan. I mean, like I just showed you guys in this screenshot over here, apparently in the UK, you can't even download an app in general without verifying your age. Any type of app, a sports app, a cooking app, a workout app, you can't download it unless you hand over your AI
That's so dumb.
or an ID. What kind of insanity is this? I don't know.
But you can't download a health app either? That some health apps are required to be able to communicate like with your like doctors and stuff like that, or just not allowed to download those kind of apps. Like, what the fuck?
What what is going on in the UK right now. And I'm sure my UK citizens that are watching this video are equally upset, but the UK government is fucking up the entire world right now. Everybody keeps following suit with exactly what the UK is doing or what Australia is doing. And now everybody in the world, everybody and their mamas, they want to ban all types of social media for teenagers, which is going to require essentially everybody to go ahead and send in an ID and an AI facial scan.
Imagine an ID verifying to be able to live. If you don't, they just shoot you. Imagine.
I don't know what part of the world we've entered in now where it's like mass surveillance, mass data collection, but I really wish that...
Oh wait, a certain frozen water agency already does that.
More people would talk about this type of stuff, because this type of shit is just getting worse and worse every day. YouTube did it in August of 2025. Roblox did it. Discord did it. Spotify did it. Apple's now doing it. I mean, holy shit. Every single company, corporation, and every single state and country seems to be wanting age verification. It started off in the UK with them trying to like stop kids from going to adult websites, and now what is it? Now you have to be 18 plus and send in an ID and an AI facial scan to download an app on a freaking phone? I mean, holy shit, man. I know I've just been repeating myself, but like I said, man, I just really wish this type of stuff would like set in everybody's heads. This is a big fucking deal, man. Everything is gonna have age verification soon, and everybody needs to be talking about this type of shit. I understand that the world is crazy and there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the world right now, but massive surveillance of all the citizens on planet Earth, yeah, this should be near the top of the list if I would say so. And the fact that these companies with, I was gonna say billions, but no, literally trillions of dollars are also bending backwards to the government is just crazy. It makes me feel like they're doing it on purpose, and I'm sure that they already are. No way Apple doesn't have the money and resources to be able to fight these laws and say, no, you know what, we're putting our foot down. We want to protect the privacy of our users, plain and simple. Do what you will. We'll see you guys in court. But no, they just keep bending backwards and doing it themselves. I feel like this is just an entire conspiracy. I gotta go put my tinfoil hat on real quick. All of these companies and everything, they just want all of our information. I refuse to send any of these freaking social media companies or whatever, app stores or whatever, my ID or my AI facial scans. That is some bullshit. If it means that I can't use the app store or download apps anymore, if I can't use certain social medias, so be it, man. I don't even give a fuck anymore. We have to worry about these freaking gigantic data leaks every other week as well with Persona and all these other companies. I mean, dude, like this whole thing, like with ID Merit, for example, 1 billion personal records leaked. If you guys didn't see the video I made a few days ago, ID Merit, which is one of these ID age verification handlers that was supposed to be handling all this information, they had a huge leak where all these like personal records got leaked or whatever. And it's just always such a huge deal. And I'm, like I said, I'm just really tired of it. I really wish the whole world would get together. I know everyone's already concerned about this side or that side, but dude, this is like a bipartisan thing. Both sides of the political aisle in the United States specifically, and probably all around the world, are all going gung-ho on age verification. This is all they want. This is all they care about. This is the one thing in the world that they were able to set their differences aside on to work together, collecting our information, not fucking fixing world hunger, not catching all the people in files, not making sure that people aren't homeless. No, this fucking collecting everyone's information. Now this is where they put
it's awful and a half.
Corruption and evil in the world, man. But I've ranted long enough. Let me know what you guys' thoughts on the situation in the comments. Seems like Apple is going to be having age verification.
I'm not fond of it. You're fond of having age verification. At this point, I might also get a Google Pixel and load up Graphene OS on it, because this is fucking ridiculous. All right. Let's see here. Fucking hell. How spicy is define it? Ooh. Ooh. Let's go.
As unique and impactful as Sonic CD. Despite its flaws, it is without a doubt one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. And I'm not alone in this. There are
Mine too.
People who feel the same way. And I think that's so impressive that one game not only affected so many people, but I would go as far as to say defined what Sonic is in the 90s to so many people. So in today's video, I want to talk about how Sonic CD defined an era of Sonic through its iconic visuals, sound, and gameplay.
Whoa.
You can think of this as a review of Sonic CD, but I'm more so trying to explain how this game's elements affected its perception to the public. So I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's dive headfirst into the masterpiece that is Sonic CD.
It's so weird that the Japanese and English versions of Sonic CD theme song is just vastly different. Like the Japanese version is upbeat, while the American version is just cool. Oh, I love the song. I love it. I love it.
Now, originally, I was gonna straight up talk about the music first, but I realized I can't talk about Sonic CD without talking about the main gameplay and story gimmick, time travel. When Sonic CD was in development in Japan, it was being developed around the same time as Sonic 2 in the US. And if you have watched my recent Sonic 2 dev video, which you definitely should after this video, you would know that Sonic 2 originally had a time travel plot that was ultimately scrapped due to time constraints. But Naoto Oshima, the director of Sonic CD, thought the idea was so ingenious that he took that idea and put it into Sonic CD. And with that, the entire game would be
Let's go.
Each level would get a present, past, good future, and bad future variant, which meant each level got its own visuals, each time period got its own music, which also led to different endings for the game. So if it wasn't for time travel, nearly every element that makes Sonic CD so iconic wouldn't even exist. But it's one thing for them to exist. It's another thing for them to be good. So let's talk about how really good these things are. If you talk to any Sonic CD fan, any Sonic fan, hell, people who don't even care for Sonic CD or Sonic, no matter what, the one thing they cannot deny is how iconic and banging this soundtrack is. Now, I will primarily be talking about the Japanese soundtrack that is more popular today, and quite frankly, the superior one. Let's not kid ourselves here. But I will be showing the US soundtrack some love as well, so don't worry. Sonic CD is quite unique compared to any Sonic game to this day. And the fact that each time period gets its own unique music. The present track being the bass music for the stage, setting the vibe and tone for the music based on the location, like Palm Tree Panic being a tropical island, having very happy and upbeat music with people cheering in the background and the bongos going crazy. Which reminds me of like a Masayoshi Takanaga song off of Brazilian Stars, or Tidal Tempest sounding like the inside of an underwater cave with the echoes of the cave reverberating off the walls in the song itself, or Stardust Speedway sounding like a manifestation of the bustling streets of Las Vegas with the loud brass instruments and the jazzy sound to it. Then going to the past, the vibe of each track changes drastically. And what I really find interesting is that rather than using the CD quality that is used for all of the tracks, it uses the internal PCM sound chip in the Sega CD to sound way more like a traditional sounding game that you would hear on the Genesis, to capture that past feeling in air quotes. And fun fact, that's the reason why both the US and the Japanese and EU versions of the game share the same past music. It's because it's built into the system and can't be swapped out. My favorite ones are probably Quartz Quadrant Past, Metallic Madness Past, and obviously Palm Tree Panic Past, being probably the most iconic song from this game, if not close second to Stardust Speedway Bad Future. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard this song sampled outside of Sonic. Then we have the good and bad future of each track. The good future version of each track all have a similar vibe, where they're all a lighter, more upbeat version of the main track to symbolize Sonic freeing the area from Eggman's reign and nature winning. Like Palm Tree Panic having the cheers get louder into almost like shouts, and having more instruments and sounding way more cheery. Or Tidal Tempest adding these crystallizing synths to represent
Yeah.
cleaned the caves. And probably my favorite future track, and I use it at the
Also
end of
favorite.
videos basically. And some more calmer tracks like Quartz Quadrant, really chill. But then you have the juxtaposition to the bad future, where its theme is very clear. Each track in the bad future is an EDM or techno rendition of the song and has a way
Here's a
darker
good
vibe
cow.
that is
I am meow.
to represent Eggman's robotic takeover. Like Palm Tree Panic, its cheers become distorted and almost demonic, and its harsh synths permeate the whole track. Or Metallic Madness, leaning fully into the madness with its demonic laughs that haunt the American OST. Speaking of, it's not bad, but I'm sorry, let's not kid ourselves. It does not hold a candle to the JP OST. But there are some songs on here that are equally or more iconic than the Japanese OST, like the boss track being notorious for how haunting it sounds, almost like it belongs in a horror game, which we'll again talk about later. And Sonic Boom being more iconic than Toot Sonic Warrior, especially in the early 90s to
Yeah.
2000s, and Stardust Speedway Bad Future. I mean, that was basically the theme for Metal Sonic in the West for a good while, up until I would say Sonic Generations. These songs were what we thought of Sonic CD for a long time, and it wouldn't be until 2011 with the mobile remake when we would get to choose what version of the music we want to listen to. But overall, the reason this OST is heavily responsible for Sonic's identity in the 90s is because the music is just so iconic inside and outside of the Sonic community. I don't think I've ever heard Sonic music sampled or referenced outside of its own game more than Sonic CD. And I mean, it's just good music, man. If it wasn't good, it wouldn't even be as iconic as it is, okay? Ask any Sonic fan, and it's in there at least.
I agree. I agree.
So, combined with the fact that each zone gets 4 unique tracks with 2 different OSTs, you have what is possibly the most varied and highest quality Sonic soundtrack of the 90s, if not of all time. And I just spent 4 pages talking about the music. I think it's time we move on to something equally as important. If you want to talk about the look of Sonic in the 90s, point to this game. Sonic CD's art style and visuals are so striking that I think it impacted how future Sonic games looked in the 90s. I have talked about Sonic's art style before and how each era has its changes, but during the 90s, it is fairly consistent. Sonic 1 starting off with surrealism and fantasy being both equally represented, then Sonic 2 leaned a bit more into surrealism with a less fantasy focus, but then Sonic CD came around and hammered in that surrealism and fantasy look. Despite the Sega CD not allowing for more colors, it somehow feels like the most colorful Sonic game on the Genesis. And a big part of that is that each zone has 4 different time zones, so they can make each time zone look different. Originally, the game was supposed to mirror Sonic 1, even Naoto Oshima admits this, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's taking the concept of Sonic 1, but turning it into its own thing. Palm Tree Panic and its unique looking palm trees, star-shaped vegetation, purple flowers, glistening waterfalls, and its pillar-shaped mountains in the back overlooking the lake. Quartz Quadrant taking on the appearance of a mine quarry with the turquoise quartz stones and stalactites on the floor and the roof.
Yeah.
Collision Chaos, light purple aesthetic with the hint of sunlight hitting the stones, with the sunset shimmering on the waters, and the unique looking technology scattered around the world. Or Stardust Speedway being the facade of Eggman's Utopia City, almost like Las Vegas, with golden roads, literal brass instruments built into them, like trumpets. And if you have a keen eye, you can even spot a monument of the man himself in the process of being built. I think this game does something better than any Sonic game that has come before. It has incredible world building, rivaling the likes of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and it only gets better with the different time zones. Going to the past, every stage gets a more earthy tone to them, having deep greens and light browns, giving the stage a more prehistoric look, and really makes them feel like a time before technology ever touched them. Palm Tree Panic having way more prehistoric vegetation, almost feeling like old Earth, and the mountains have a darker purple and are lower in elevation. Quartz Quadrant having lime green water flooding the caves, and the quartz being scattered all around the water before the quarry was installed. Collision Chaos looking a bit similar to Palm Tree Panic, having way more vegetation, however, and the sunset reflection is way more intense. And Stardust Speedway looks a lot like Athens, Greece, with the Greek architecture in the back, with vines covering the roads, and a large castle that stands in place of the Eggman Monument.
Okay.
Completely changes the vibe and tells a story of what the land once was. Then we get to the good and bad future of this.
Also, hello whoever joined. Pretty much we're taking an hour break from art and you just need to rest your hand a bit and then we'll get back into art.
The good future of the stage is showing the stage at its best, with more vibrant colors, no badniks anywhere, and the stage being reverted back to its former glory, maybe even better. Palm Tree Panic shows the plants blossoming with new life, growing larger and larger with water flowing through all of the land. Collision Chaos finally appears in the daytime rather than at sunset, and all of the technology is cleaned up rather than jumbled up. Quartz Quadrant is covered with gold, and Quartz looks more polished and clearer than ever. And Stardust Speedway turns into a city of lights, with roller coasters and Ferris wheels in the background. If you let Eggman take over, Eggman completely takes over and destroys everything. All of the color is completely drained from the world, and all of the life is dead. Palm Tree Panic has all of the trees and plants dead. The sky is dark with smog, and the water is like a toxic green. Collision Chaos is thrown into perpetual darkness with red skies, and the one sunset reflecting water now looks like a pool of lava. Quartz Quadrant, how I interpret it at least, is that Eggman has completely mined out the entire quarry, leaving no quartz left, and all that is left is a giant pit that leads to magma, and smokestacks fog up the entire sky. And Stardust Speedway turns into the Eggman dystopia that he was building, with the only lights left coming from the industrial buildings, and the thunder is engulfing the entire sky. And the Eggman Monument is now fully complete, with a dark silhouette towering over Sonic and the city, almost like a god. And I think why it's so impactful is because the stage's outcome is solely based on you. You either save it or let it turn to ruin and decay. So it adds a personal element to it. And I haven't even talked about the special stages yet, which are notorious for how trippy and surreal they are. The wavy rainbow skies, a land of floating islands resembling the corridor of time from Chrono Trigger, a green city on an alien planet. These special stages are like probably the only ones in the whole series that truly feel like an alternate dimension. But overall, why does this game's art style define Sonic in the 90s? Well, it's because of how striking it is. Despite the limited color palette, the game finds a way to be the most colorful, vibrant, classic Sonic game in the quadrilogy. And again, it just helps that you have a variety of aesthetics from each stage for each time zone. And the art direction of the game is just so strong, with unique shapes for the trees and plants, to the way that Eggman's technology looks. The game is perfected its surrealism and fantasy style that Sonic has established in the 90s. And I would not be surprised if games looking forward took inspiration from this game. And when looking at official art that a lot of people associate with Sonic in the 90s, I mean, they just look like the evolution of the Sonic CD art style with the vibrant colors and the crazy looking design. And it's no surprise since Naoto Oshima was responsible for a lot of these illustrations, so his design philosophy naturally carried over. But overall, this game is so stylistically striking and iconic that it was impossible to talk about or look at classic Sonic media and not see CD influence or CD at all. If you're talking about Sonic as a series in general, you are going to eventually get to the Sonic CD animated FMVs that were produced by
hell yeah.
by Junyo Studios. I mean, what do I even have to say? This animation is top-notch. That much is clear. The animation is some of the most fluid movement we have ever seen out of Sonic ever. The way he bobs and weaves through the trees. Something I love about this animation is that it does the thing where Sonic is moving so fast that the camera struggles to keep up with him. He runs so fast onto the water, creating a rainbow. When he runs, he leaves stars behind. He loops around the tree, not once, but twice. The way the animation flows from one movement to another feels so natural to Sonic, and this is one of the things this animation gets right. It is the best example of Sonic telling you who he is as a character purely through actions. The way Sonic moves through these planes feels like he is one with the nature. Sonic is purposefully doing cool shit just to make running more fun. Like, he could have just ran straight to Little Planet, but no, he wanted to be all fancy dancy. And even with Sonic CD's whole plot, Sonic didn't just come to Never Lake because Eggman was there. He was there because he wanted to see Little Planet. And Eggman, unfortunately, so happened to be there. And he didn't want Eggman ruining the land, so he had to put a stop to him, showing Sonic's attitude and mindset towards things. He does what he thinks is right. He's not doing it because he wants to be a hero. He's just not cool with bad shit happening. Not on his time. Even in the other enemies,
Exactly.
you see glimpses of Sonic's character, like how he waves at the buzzsaw enemies while he's riding on top of them, or when he saves Amy, he just drops her off, then quickly runs away, because he doesn't want to get caught up in that. He doesn't relish in being a hero. And I think the reason why these FMVs are so iconic is because it was, and still is, the best representation of Sonic as a character to this day, with the only thing coming close being the Unleashed opening. And the music as well. I mean, you could not escape Sonic Boom back in the day. It was infectious. Like, if you were to search up a Sonic video in the early 2000s or even the late 90s, you were guaranteed to hear this song. But let's not forget, you can
hell yeah.
while the lyrics are definitely interesting, who the fuck is Jake? The actual song
Who the fuck is Jake?
good. But Believe in Yourself, the ending is on a whole other level of quality. I think it is probably my favorite ending theme to any Sonic game ever, especially that beginning part with the piano, because depending on the ending you get, it evokes a different feeling. If you get the good ending, it feels triumphant and peaceful, but if you get the bad ending, it feels melancholy and sad. But overall, I think it's all of these aspects. The depiction of Sonic, how good the animation itself is, and the music, and how it makes you feel, all culminating into one of the most pieces of Sonic media, not just for the 90s, but for Sonic as a whole to this day. Now, I can't talk about Sonic CD without talking about one of the most iconic characters to come out of this game. Amy Rose. Yeah, this would
Amy
be one of
Rose.
the two characters to come out of CD that would be a mainstay in the franchise. But honestly, I think more people know her for her modern outings starting at Adventure. However, there is one character that is way more impactful in the classic era. Metal Sonic. Sonic's first ever rival. And the first ever rival that would just try to replicate or copy him. Well, I mean, the idea of Metal Sonic did not start in CD. Sonic 2, just a year prior, had Mecha Sonic, but that only felt like Sonic in looks. It didn't really feel like Sonic. Metal Sonic is Sonic to a T. The looks, the speed, the attitude. Metal Sonic was so popular that they would do the idea of a Sonic imposter again with Shadow. But Metal Sonic was such a cool idea that he became the rival of classic Sonic in the 90s. Now quickly, I just want to go over some miscellaneous stuff, because there's some stuff I didn't really know where to put, so I'm just gonna put it here. I want to talk about the OVA. Well, yeah, it's not a Sonic CD movie or even an adaptation. It has so much DNA that is embedded from Sonic CD that it's hard to watch that movie and not think about CD. And if it wasn't for CD, a lot of iconic moments that we still think about today would not exist. Like Sonic and Metal Sonic clashing, and then Sonic's like, you know everything I'm gonna do, but that's not gonna help you since I know everything you're gonna do. Strange, isn't it? That would not happen if it wasn't for Sonic CD and making Metal Sonic. And that movie in and of itself became a whole vibe for Sonic in the 90s, which is also kind of just CD's vibe. Also, Metal Sonic's a fucking pervert. And then, if y'all like the Sonic CD, y'all would know about the sound select screens that you would get eventually, like if you would figure out the code. And there's one, if you put in a specific code, you get a screen with Sonic with an old man's face repeating, and a text that says, "Fun is infinite with Sega Enterprises, Majin." And no, not Majin as in Majin Buu, Majin as in the devil. And it didn't help that the creepy text was complemented with creepy imagery, which was also complemented with Sonic CD's boss theme. And if you were playing in the US, it was just like a straight dark evil beat. I mentioned this because it's just a staple of the Sonic CD experience of getting into the game, and specifically Sonic in the 90s, because again, if you were playing in the US, you would hear that creepy ass music. And two, it's just a product of the time. Like, I would never see something like this or imagine something like this happening in a modern day Sonic game. That's just so shocking. And this thing kind of became like an urban legend of classic Sonic.
They still talk about to this day. I'm debating whether to do the art challenge or not. Maybe I don't want to. Because I realize maybe I just need to get in a little bit of rest. But yeah.
Sonic CD is a once-in-a-lifetime game, where the game left such an impact that has not only affected how Sonic is viewed, but defined what Sonic was for a whole era through its music, its ambitious story and gameplay, its striking visuals, the way it tells its story, and the things that came to be because of Sonic CD. It really is a product of Sonic and Sega at the time, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Bravo. Honestly, bravo. Bravo to that. I'm changing the title for the stream. Yeah. All right.
After watching these videos, you're going to be forced to agree with me that the youth today are facing a serious mental health crisis. My God.
My God.
This is wow. Really got that little bit of head on top of the head. Look at that little bit of hair. Getting ready to rob a What has happened?
Oh no.
The title of her video is "High School is Not for the Weak." You just got to high school, you want to go home? What's going on?
The way I'd rather just sit here and do nothing than compete in your stupid ass war for money. Dude, I don't want a job. I don't want to participate in this stupid world. I'd rather play GTA and spin in circles and shoot for 24 hours than go find a job and go work.
I don't know if I can even keep
And
punching. They need to get the mental health professionals to these youngsters quick.
And this is also why I want to become a full-time VTuber. So I don't have to like rely on a job.
I spent all this time being a good girl just to find out that men love hoes.
Did she get attacked by a Sharpie? What? Watching my love life fly away because I can't shut the F up and stop accusing a ninja of cheating. Look at them eyelashes. The same girls or what? What? The same ones that tore up the Wendy's. Look at the... She a worker or who is she? Talking about calling. Always the fast food joints. Always the fast food joints. The video say she came in going crazy over some ranch dressing. It's not worth the problem. Just give her the ranch. Think about all she gonna tear up. Give her the ranch. Look at her.
Get a goat out here.
Man, follow me at Cat No Back, man.
Okay, shout your shit out.
Man, follow me at Cat No Back, man. 𝘂𝙗.
How they walk in the streets and they walking a goat?
Oh shit, tell him stop playing though. Yeah.
City street?
How you get a goat out here though?
My baby daddy is the
How do you even get a goat?
that a baby daddy hate their baby mama. By all circumstances, bitch, like, what's the word? Y'all don't get in my comments, motherfucker, talk about my vocabulary, bitch.
What?
What is it? It's a vocabulary word. But
wait a minute, you have a child and you're talking like this?
my baby daddy is the reason why I would never truly understand that or believe that a baby daddy hate his baby mama.
Baby gonna be dumb as a box of rock.
I'm like, I don't
Oh shit.
my baby daddy because you're annoying. You're a baby daddy, matter of fact. Annoying. You're a baby father. Like,
dude, screw anything.
Matter of fact, you're my baby father. Actually. You're not just any baby father. You're my baby father.
I don't care about
So what am I gonna do with you?
kids that y'all producing.
Like,
just screw. Y'all men gotta do better.
What you talking about, nigga? What you talking about? Like I said, don't call me no bum. I'm not calling you. Or no dummy, nigga.
Arguing with your
Call me a dummy.
dad?
You call me a dummy. You call me a dummy. I got my diploma. The fuck? What about you?
Oh my goodness.
Oof. Yeesh.
Don't call me no
Severe
bum.
therapy.
Don't call me no dummy. Don't say shit about my life, nigga.
A lot of therapy.
No, you on some bullshit. I'm sick of your mouth. You always talking shit about motherfuckers. Your own kids. You're a bum for that. A bum.
Wow.
You smoking West Sticks and you got seizures. You're a dummy. You're a dummy. That's who dummies do that shit. Then you don't want to take medicine like a dumbass. Sit here putting your daughter through that shit. You think she want to see you constantly falling out, having seizures and shit?
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I told you, I've been telling y'all, a lot of these parents that are mating, these women's mating with these dudes, the dude is on medication, something is wrong with him, and look at her.
Does anyone know how to not be so scared all the time? I'm so scared of everything. I'm so afraid.
Look like you haven't come out the house in
brave and confident.
years.
Like I don't understand the concept. And I hate when people look at me. I hate being perceived. When people say my name, when people look at me and interact with me. It just feels so weird. I despise socializing in person. It's so hard for me and I hate it.
Relationships are doomed, and the next generation after this is definitely doomed.
I'm sorry, I gotta go.
It's okay. Bye, sweetie.
I'll see you in the morning, okay?
Okay.
I love you.
Love you too.
I'm just so confused by all the piercings, but you mean to tell me it's the parents that are making y'all like this, that are stressing y'all out? And I know there's a whole lot of single mother homes. They hate when I say that, but it's the truth.
I've had chronic depression since I was like 15 years old. And I've been on medication and whatever. Through it all.
Obviously, it's not working.
And I'm almost 27 now. And I have tried so much to regulate my nervous system and calm down and just try to feel more okay and present.
This is wild,
and,
folks.
Like the tapping and EMDR or whatever it is, therapy, and take my vitamins and go on walks and exercise, reach out to friends. You know
what's crazy about all this is they're posting all of this stuff online for the world to see.
I'm 18 years old. I just graduated last year. I don't have a job right now. About 2 months ago, a month ago, I would hit the gym every day. I sit at home. I don't have a job. I don't do anything. I coach a basketball team, a JV boys basketball team. Other than that, I do nothing. I have no passion in my life. I don't know what I want to do for work. I'm just in a hole right now.
Anybody's watching these videos.
Honestly, like, if I could give, oh, we have an, oh, we have an ad. I had no idea we had an ad. Twitch, come on, give me a ping when there's an ad. I have ADHD. I don't keep forgetting. Fuck me. Anywho, I'm gonna wait for. I gotta wait for ads to go on because there's about 15 seconds of ads left for Twitch. So, fuck. All right. All right, there we go. There we go. Welcome back, chat. Welcome back. Welcome. Hello, welcome. How are you doing? Welcome back, my Blitzies. As I was saying before I realized, after watching all these videos, pretty much, I'm in some predicament where I'm not even able to pay my portion of the rent in full. I'm not able to pay what I can pay month-to-month basis. Ever since my car got totaled. I just, at this point, I'm just trying to get by. I'm just doing what I can to get by. And I want to make VTubing a full-time career. And with like a side project of being a freelance artist. And I can't even afford to take a day off unless if it's like for a doctor's appointment and stuff like that. And even then, I'm having trouble getting my PTO up. And when PTO is like 8 hours, something like that. For some ungodly fucking reason, I'm blaming. I'm gonna blame God for this. But pretty much, I end up getting sick. I end up getting severely sick. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is going on? And sometimes I get sick at work and I have to go home early. And the manager sees I'm visibly sick, and they, as much as they want to tell me to stay, which is also fucked up because corporation, they legally can't because they already have it on camera that I threw the fuck up. So yeah.
And you recognize any of these kids, please go talk to them immediately.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't want shit out of this life but Jesus, bro. I'd be sitting here crying just off the fact that like I just really want him. Like I want to be with him. I want to hug him. I don't want shit.
Your kids are in the back, ma'am.
I don't want shit out of this.
Ma'am, your kids are in the back. Why couldn't you just wait until you go home? Be in your room to do this.
Life. I don't want to like.
I understand your pain, but wait until you're home alone.
I like to work for what I have.
Or in your room.
And I'm cool with that, but like I don't.
Look at her.
I don't want a relationship. I don't want love. I don't want to have to work out every day. I don't want to have to like torture myself and train myself to like be numb to this life and this world and everything around me.
Y'all are.
That's so fair.
I'm burnt out over that shit.
Man, I feel so stupid.
You ain't stupid, Yvette. You're just in love with a man.
Mama, there's things in life, there's lines, bro.
Honestly, it is so fucked up that people even have to like choose whether they want food, get food, or absolutely have to pay the rent. It's truly fucked up. It really is. And also, I hope for the best for everyone to even live at least trying to live comfortably. And honestly, I've been stressing myself the fuck out to the point I got sick 3 times in one week. And honestly, that's not good. And I realized, like, after the 3rd time I got sick in that single week, I realized that, like, okay, I'm gonna put myself in the grave if I keep stressing myself the fuck out like this. I'd rather get a job, which is damn near impossible in this economy. Getting a new job. I don't like to even have a job in the first place. Getting a new job is damn near impossible. Holy fucking shit. But I'm still trying. Because I have to. And secondly, I'm trying to get back what I can. What I can do to get by. What's actually feasible for me. Because look, I personally tried to take the the transit system. I think twice that I didn't know where to get off. Even though I was looking at the bus transit app, tracking the stops. Plus, even how you can say this, even like trying to, at the very least, know where all the bus stops are at, and failed the 2nd time. 3rd time, I got all the bus stops that I know where to go. But the bus driver decided not to stop at one of the stops that I was supposed to stop, even though I stood up and went to the door in preparation for him to get off. It didn't stop. Then I had to complain to customer, hey, what the fuck? I'm paying over the bus tickets over there. What the fuck? Call on the phone with my ex's mom's acting. Everything's fine. The fuck? He's...
Let a girl alter their emotions. Look at me now. Wow.
Used to know who I was.
How did you just lay in here recording himself on camera?
Now I'm the worst
Looking
version
depressed.
of myself I've ever been.
Don't let me go through this again.
What lesson did you learn?
You finally learned your lesson.
Please just don't do it.
Life lesson. Don't trust the system. Honestly, it takes a village. It really does take a village to raise a baby. And that's right. The entire society and the government, that's the village, and we the people are the babies. Are you in the States? Public transport sucks here. Well, it sucks here. Yeah, I'm in the States. It also sucks here. Public transport also sucks here. And a bunch of my friends can also confirm that public transit system fucking sucks. The bus sucks. The trains suck. Everything sucks. Holy shit, what the fuck? Yeah. Honestly, if I can, I would even get a beater car for cheap and repair it myself. At the very least, I would have a car. I also want to bike, but I have a mountain bike and I basically don't have the body strength anymore to even bike. So I have to get an e-bike, and that shit's expensive. $2,000 minimum. That's basic shit for an e-bike. Oh fuck.
Protect me. Please,
I woke up and I want my ex back, and y'all need to figure something out before I pass out. I swear to God, if I can't get him back, it's gonna be all hell. I really want him back, so y'all need to figure something out.
Wait, what? We need to figure something out because you want your ex back. What? Hyperventilating the truth
What?
because I generally don't know.
Yeah, that's expensive now. Yeah, everything's way too fucking expensive. I just don't. I don't understand. Everything's just way too fucking expensive. And it's to the point that, yeah, like I said, I'm trying my damn best to get a job, to get like a new job, but I don't expect to get a new job for months, even trying to get a new job. Honestly, I'm at this point, I'm even barely getting by, barely. I'm sick of. I'm sick of everything. It is draining my sanity. Holy fucking shit. And I'm not even able to eat properly too. All I have is eggs, rice, ramen, sometimes bagels, if that. I don't even have the basic shit to even have the. I can't have the nutrients at all. Not at all, but like, yeah. Yeah, either I can help with something technically, something more. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And honestly speaking, I just want everything to get better, or at the very least, try to make things just a little bit better for the next generation after us. Everything just sucks fucking ass. I'm super lucky to be with parents still. I'm glad you have parents that super lucky with. Are you like chill with your parents, or you have a good relationship with parents? That's even more lucky. Trying to set up once okay and decide to so okay, so that is true, that is true. Unfortunately for me, it basically my relationship with my birther became so volatile that I had to go no contact. I really just had to go no contact for my own safety. So yeah, I'd rather be struggling where I am now than stay with that psycho ass of a bitch. But yeah. Yeah, like it's a good thing you have your good with your parents. Please keep that. Please do. Well, I do what I can. I do what I can on our part, pretty much. Imagine when I'm like, hopefully, be able to move in with with one of the partners, the partner. But oh, the more the merrier, basically. And I'm trying to tell my partner that pretty much that hey, the more rooms we have, the pretty much the easier it would be, like cost wise. So yeah, there's that. But yeah. Anywho, if I can do that, if I can, pretty much pretty much more roommates to end up getting under the belt, the better. And me, you can tag along too if you want. Any you move on.
Know what to do anymore. I hate it here. It's all whack. People are lame. I'm tired of fighting my flesh and would genuinely rather be with him.
Exactly.
With any ounce of common sense in this day and time, you randomly screwing out here in this day and time, you are taking a very high risk.
Get up out of it. Come on. Get up out of it. You're going through it.
When I see my friends and their parents having a great relationship, but I'm stuck with my mom hating me, her wishing I was with my dad.
Her wishing I was with it. This hit so close to home for me. Well, unless he wants maybe it feels stable. That's true. That's true. That's up to. That's really up to you. Also, yeah. Let's see. Holy shit. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. But yeah, I was saying that hit so close to him. Pretty much so close to him, but pretty much I said earlier. I don't have. I used to have a terrible relationship with a birther. Now I have no relationship with a birther because I don't want anything to deal with her. And pretty much, unfortunately, I've experienced every reason why my dad divorced my birther. I experienced every reason. Why my dad divorced his birther. And he is very valid and every right to divorce her. Plus, in all honesty, the custody battle, I should have been with my dad. For the custody battle, I really should have been with my dad. And also, if I can find the civil judge who made this decision, I want to question every step of his thought process and tell him that he fucked up severely. He truly fucked up. Everyone fucked up.
Stuck with my mom.
And my needs are already not met right now. Luckily, few people are trying to help me move for the visa to save up, but in all honesty, I'm not gonna be able to save up anything. I'm really not gonna be able to save up anything. I'm lucky. I'll be lucky if you like move again, just to have like a stable place to stay and. My partner already knows that I am basically traumatized, like even more traumatized with my living situation, with having no car and stuff like that, being stressed the fuck out all the time. To the point that I literally admitted to him, like, hey, I don't think I can handle another job. I really don't think I can handle another job. And they said I'd rather become a full-time VTuber or stuff like that. And I'm like, he understood. He said, pretty much once he moved in, eventually, whatever the fuck that is, I pretty much will become a housewife, basically. And honestly, I'll settle for that. I'll settle to revert to the 1950s because simply, we need the 1950s guys because everything was cheaper despite all the segregation and sexism and discrimination. We need the cost of the 1950s combined with present time culture, and then that'll be perfect.
Hating me, her wishing I was with my dad. I genuinely can't wait to leave this house and start my own life. I really hate it here. Word is crap. What?
I used to know who I was.
Hey. Folks, this is crazy. Even have any hair? Pull her hair out.
I really need the help to spread this. Everything don't need to get away with this.
I know I saw some patches.
Different times, different economy factors. I don't know. Something that may be possible now. Yeah, the main thing though, people gave a shit. Yeah, people did give a shit. Oh no, let's see. Holy shit. I just don't know anymore. Oh, honestly, I just don't know anymore. Ooh, fuck. Corporations were held accountable. Yeah, corporations were held accountable. Most corporations actually gave a shit about their employees and then give fair compensation for their work. Yeah, like, you need excess amount of experience for an entry-level job, 60% paycheck. Well, 60% live paycheck. That is true. I even live paycheck to paycheck, unfortunately. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck me.
No need to get away with this. God, I don't know.
Cost of everything has gone up. Wages have not fallen. Yeah, wages have not fallen at fucking all. And like I said, like I reiterated earlier, I don't think I can handle another job or get a new job anymore. I have to get a new job now because I need a job that I can actually walk to. But as for like moving to another state again, thankfully, I say just thankfully, my partner understands the sheer amount of stress I'm going through right now. And pretty much is allowing me to just be a housewife. But yeah. Yeah. Just a lot of those aren't even go for just it is hard. It is hard. Anything, I have like 7-8 years of retail sales experience and customer service experience, and I can't get a job. Can't get a new job. Arf. Aww. Yeah, that is very real. And you're very cute, sweetie. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do pretty much. Let's just end our stream here. And then Amigo, I'm gonna call you. Alright. Alright. I just need to thank everyone for joining today's stream. My name's Famous, I'm Friday stream. Actually, not speaking in chat this week, as well as I draw art, and hopefully I'll be doing a 3D model for everyone here. Sorry for the lack of enthusiasm. It's just like I just had to get.
He's a good girl.
I meow. Red, you came in while it's just ending the stream. But yeah, what I was saying is, I just had to get real with everyone. And admit that everyone is struggling. It's just holy shit. It's just ungodly levels of what the fuck. How does it even make any sense? And how is this even allowed? It's all corporation. It's all corporations just wanting to lobby the fucking government and try to change the rules on us. Like, what the fuck? And we have Discord doing ID verification, even though they're not even like required to in some countries. Not even the United States as right now, but they're doing it anyway. Well, sorry, new. They said, oh, we need to make sure everything's safe. We know government, global governments. We all know this isn't about the kids for the kids. This is to get some money to get some more money to greedy pockets. They little dumb fucks. But yeah, I think rules are being actively changed on this. This is use the common sense of the early 2000s and all the rules we were taught to follow. That all went out the fucking window, obviously. What are we supposed to learn? I don't fucking know at this point. Anyway, sorry, I just had to get real with everyone here. Anyway, but yeah, I'm just pretty much ending the upstream team, just trying to relax the rest of the night. And that being said, I can keep going on, Blitzies. Bye bye, bye today.